up. So guys, now I want you to go to your chat. Go to the chat. Ask any question that you may want us to address. Ask any question that you may want us to address kindly. I don't know, let me see. Musa, there was number one. The first question I would want Musa to address is there was someone who is asking, that is George, was asking, will the new standard be made available to them? I'm not sure whether that has been answered, but probably Musa, you can address that as we wait for the rest of the people to ask questions. So just post your question on me, and then you're going to pick them up. So Musa?
Okay, that's a good question. So the standard is actually copyrighted. So when you buy the standard, you're given a single user license, or if you're buying it as for educational purposes or for research purposes, you're given a license that is aligned with the type of organization that you represent. So when you buy the license, for example, when we buy the license as Sentinel, we buy it on a single user license, which basically prohibits our distribution or copying or networking of it. So remember that about the standards, they're actually copyrighted. That's why you don't find them on Google, and when you never just do a simple Google search, you'll not find the standard just lying around because it's copyrighted. Now, having said that, it is also very easy to get a hold of a standard. If you go to iso.org, you're able to purchase directly from ISO. It's a simple purchase using online payment options. Whichever country you're in, ISO usually has the member states have their own national web store for purchase of standards. For example, if you're in Kenya, you can actually buy it from KEBS. If you are in Uganda, you can buy it from UBS, not wrong, yeah, and from Rwanda and so on and so forth. So the other place you could buy from is BSI store has a store, you can buy from there. PECB has a store, you can buy it from there. So buying the standard is also very easy to do using any online payment options that you want.
Thank you, Musa. So the other question would be, I would also throw this to let me subdivide the question. So this Evans C saying that great presentation. Thank you, Evans, for that. My observation is on the revised standard that is 27001 and 27002 is that it meant to strike a balance between security and privacy. So the question is it a requirement to maintain or adopt ISO 27701 as a document of external origin that is not explicitly stated? Musa, kindly just note that down. Then so that let me give all the questions and then we can answer them. So Musa, note that down. Then Lenny Kamau is asking regarding asset management. Would we then say that asset classification procedure should not be factored? Regarding asset management, would we then say that asset classification procedures should not be factored? Would also send that to Faith Mueni. Kindly note that down, Faith Mueni. Then there is also someone would like to find out the certification of lead auditors. If you have been already certified in 27001, 2013, how will you get the certification of 2022? Musa, take that one. How will you get certified in 27001 as a lead auditor now to the version 2022? And then Mueni, as you answer the other one, kindly take this one. How much does it cost to get certified? This one, I think either personally, as a personal, and also towards the business aspect of it, you can answer that. Then SK is asking, those of us who are in the process of certification, then does this mean it will be good to migrate immediately to 2022 version rather than be certified on a version that will expire in 2025, given also the cost implication and budgeting process for government entities? I would request Musa or Mike to take this up. So let's start with Mueni. Mueni? Mueni, can you hear me? Okay, could you then start with Musa as Mueni prepares?
Sure, yeah, no worries. So I'm going to tackle the question that was around ISO 27701, whether that can come in as a document of external origin, right? So the ISO 27701 is the standard which has requirements for privacy. So if you look at ISO 27701, the current version we have is the 2019 version. And so it references directly ISO 27001, the 2013 standard. Now, what usually happens when standards like that are so interrelated, so it will not take 5 years for you to get the 2019 being revised. Immediately 2013 was withdrawn because it got to stage 95. Then it kicked in the revision of ISO 27701. So ISO 27701 is currently under revision. We're already at the DIS stage. Remember, the draft international standard stage, we're already at that stage. We're expecting it to quickly go into getting the final DIS, and then we'll go to stage 50, and then quickly we'll go to stage 60, which we expect to see that 27701 will be published very early next year. So that is usually what happens. That's how ISO maintains those standards, especially when they are related. Now, the question about whether it is a document of external origin, the 27701 is a requirements document, right? It's not a guideline, it's a requirements document. So when you are adopting 27701, it is not a recommendation. I'm hoping I'm making sense. You cannot say that, for example, that I will bring in ISO, let's say the 9001 for quality, and I'll bring it in as a document of external origin. When you're adopting a requirements document, it is not a recommendation. Those are mandatory requirements. You have to implement them the way they are. So 27701 is an extension of your ISMS. So when you're adopting it, you really are extending your ISMS to cover privacy. So I would say, for those who are already thinking about 27701, you can go ahead and do the implementation against the standard. It is currently under revision, and you can see the changes will not be as significant because 27701 was really the main document there, which was changed. I could take the second question, which was pushed to me, which was around the training for lead auditor. So when you have, if all those people who already have lead auditor certification, so we intend to actually provide training for lead auditor so that we can upgrade you to the 2022 standard. So we already are preparing that content. So we'll see not latest, in Q1 in 2023, we're going to have trainings for lead auditors. So just look out for that. Ian?
Thank you, Musa, for that. So for now, we go to Mueni. Was supposed to, the first question, Mueni, is regarding asset management. Would we then say that the asset classification procedure should not be factored? And then the second question for you, Mueni, was the one on how much does it cost to get certified, either a person on a personal basis, or else also probably you can also tackle on as an organization.
Okay. Right. So looking at the first question, yeah, which is regarding asset management, would you then say that the 10,002 version 2022, the way that clause has been written has changed, and it says inventory of information and other associated assets. So that is what only has changed. And so here the expectation is that you shall keep an inventory of information and other associated assets, including the owners. Yeah. But over and above that, the other controls such as classification of information, that is in Annex A5.12, classification of information still stays the same, whereas an organization, you're supposed to, after you identify your assets, then you're looking at also the information, information again, because the information will be sitting on assets. So then how do you ensure that information assets, have been classified, and especially we're looking at confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And then also the other requirements such as, labeling of information, also those ones actually stay. So those are still controls existing in ISO 27001 version 2022. I hope that answers the question. Then the second one was in terms of certification. So how much does it cost? I know Ian will be presenting something that is in terms of the certification training for persons, both for implementer and auditor that we have coming up. So maybe I'll leave that so that Ian, you can tackle in when you're presenting that as the last part of the webinar. But for certification of persons, or rather of organizations, so there are different factors that come into play, looking at the scope of the organization in terms of the physical locations, the processes, and so on and so forth. And so if you could leave your contact details here, then we would be able to reach out to you, because basically then we have to understand in terms of scope so that we can give you a relevant quotation in terms of how much it would actually cost for an organization to become certified.
Thank you, Mueni, for that. Then for the last one, I would wish if Mike is still in to tackle it, that those of us who are in the process of certification, then does this mean it will be good to migrate immediately to 2022 version rather than be certified on the version that will expire in 2025, given also the cost implication and budgeting process for government? So if Mike, you're in, you could probably answer the question, but if not, then Musa can take it. Mike, thank you. I see you in.
Thank you, Ian. I can give a guidance, and I think Sentinel will be able to give much more deeper understanding on there. But here is actually a choice which you'll need to make is you need to seek some guidance actually from your implementing partner, because now there are some changes with the new standard. So you need to look at what you've already done against 2013. And what are these new changes that are coming? If you're able to do a gap and see that how big is this gap? Is it something I can comfortably transit, or is it, again, will it have a cost implication? Because you might say you want to transit immediately, but also it brings up an issue of time and money. So, but that will be my take. You'll need to do a form of gap assessment to understand how big is the breach. Maybe Mueni or Musa can give a shot also on that.
Musa probably can give a short addition.
Yeah, I think as Mike has said, this would be something that would not answer, right off yes or no. It would depend on the organization, depend on what you're doing, where you are at in your current implementation, and if you haven't started implementing, like completely haven't started, but you had already budgeted for something, then again, that means that we also have to take that into consideration. So I would say that I would not be able to give a blanket yes or no answer here, but it would be on a case-by-case basis. I can tell you from experience that we have clients who we are already on the journey, for implementation, and we will not change in the middle of the way and say, no, let's now start going to 22 because it is a new one. So maybe that can give you some clarity. We will not just change for everybody, but then there's some cases where we can see it makes sense for us to go directly to 2022. Then for those ones we can go. So we would rather than have a blanket yes or no, would actually do a proper analysis of the environment and see what the stakeholders require, what we have in terms of time and resource pressures, and then we can actually then make the decision to go ahead whichever way.
Thank you. Thank you, Musa, for that. I hope guys, the questions have been well answered. But if you still need any further clarification, feel free to ask any other question. Now, there was another question that was being asked on the chat that if we are going to share with you these slides and also share with you probably the video. Yes, we will. We will definitely be doing that. Probably we say on Monday. or on Tuesday. And then from there, there's some of us who probably didn't register or we don't have your email. So number one, feel free to type your email on the chat so that you can pick up. If at all you didn't register or you don't have your email, feel free, type in the email on the chat. And then that way we'll pick it up from there and send you the slides, including the video link. And also you can also send a request to share email directly. If you might not want to share your email there on chat, you can send directly to the email I provided or at info@sentinelafrica.co.ke. Then that way we'll be able to handle it. So now, before we go ahead, the Emery is asking a question. Let me read that question out so that you can answer it before we go ahead. So I apologize if this question has been answered. I want to know if for the certified institution against 27001 to 2013, I think that is 2013, shifting to the new version will require to work on all implemented controls, or if we shall focus only on the new added controls. That's a good question. So if the institution that have already implemented the 27001, remember, organization can be certified against 27001. So for them that have already implemented that, will they require to implement the whole control of 27001 or only on the versions, the clauses that have been updated? So Musa, kindly address that before we go on.
Okay, so thank you for that, Ian. So I think the simple answer is that there is a mapping, and I think Faith was taking us through the mapping, between the controls in 27001 2013 and the controls in 27000 2022. So we will not throw everything away and then start to do things afresh. Instead, we will transition. So what we already have from the 114 transitions into the 93, and we already have a guide in the Annex B1. The controls that are new are very well noted. So we have noted them. Faith has taken us through them. So those ones that are new are the ones that we will be implementing, not everything. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. So it's not everything, and the work that you've already done, the controls that you've already implemented are not, you're not going to say now, we don't need them anymore. We need them. The only thing is that how do we present them in the current, rather than the 2022 now version. So that's how I would answer that question.
Thank you, Musa, for that. I believe that is well answered. Thank you too. So guys, is someone asking, will you issue a certificate for attending the webinar? Unfortunately, no, unless I'm corrected, we won't be issuing a certificate for the webinar, this one, because we were just passing it to you guys. But now, if we don't have any other question, let me take you to the next step, whereby someone like XXX can be able to get certificates. So now, good. We shall discuss more on it. So guys, allow me to take us to the next slide. Good. So now, guys, we've already shown, we've already probably given you an update and told you what 27002 is going to be about. And it's important to note that people are actually certified against ISO 27001. We have a training, an upcoming training next year, 2023. We have already planned on it. Our training calendar is already out. So as you can see, you can be able to actually be certified. Attend this training. It's going to be in Nakuru, that is in Kenya, for those that probably are outside Kenya. And then it's going to be on February 20th to 24th. You can actually register for this training immediately. Just go to our website, www.sentinelafrica.co.ke, www.sentinelafrica.co.ke. We'll be able to register for this training, and or else you can just inbox us directly if you wish to be part of the training, and then we're going to reach out to you ourselves. We're going to reach out directly to you. So let's see what specifically this training is about. So as I said, as introduced, when you attend this training, you will be able to probably be able to implement the information security, be able to steer committees or even project teams on implementation. And then who probably should attend this training? We are looking at information security officers, we are looking at risk managers, looking at project managers, also looking at security management system, the CSIOs and CIOs, and even the managers themselves can be able to attend this training, including information technology advisors. Someone who probably would want to become an expert on this field can also attend this training. And then the technical experts can also be able to attend this training. So as Emily was, XXX was asking, this training, you will be certified. You'll actually sit for an exam after the training and you will be certified. Then more to that, the training is a 5-day training, but we usually call it 4 days because the actual training is 4 days. But then now you have an extra day for your exam, which you can choose to do it on that 5th day, or you can choose to do it later on. You can actually choose to even come to our office. Those that are in Rwanda can actually go to our office and do the training there. Those that are in Nairobi can also be able to do the training in our office. No, not the training, the certification exam in our office. Or else you can choose to do that exam just online on your laptop, as long as there are guidelines that are going to be given for you to be able to follow. So how much will that training cost? It's going to cost you 1,500 USD. That's the value that you'll be investing for that for those 4 days. And more details, we will be able to share more details on the same. So welcome, guys, we are welcoming you to this training. You can inbox us directly. We'll be able to give you more details on the same. And we'll be glad to have you people in Nakuru as we we dive a little bit deeper into this. Further, apart from that, we also have the lead auditor, the similarly lead auditor training, upcoming training. This will be in April. Similarly, almost the same days, and it's going to be in Naivasha, Kenya. And similarly, as we identified, how to audit by applying widely recognized audit principles, procedures, and techniques is going to help you cover that. And then who should probably attend this training? We're talking of auditors seeking to perform and lead ISMS audits. If you're seeking to perform these audits, the ISMS audits, it's important for you to attend this training. Then we are looking at managers or consultants seeking to master the ISMS audit process. You can also attend. Persons responsible for maintaining conformance with ISMS requirements in the organization. Probably if you are part of that, you can be able to attend, and it will actually help you. Then technical experts seeking to prepare for ISMS audits, you can also attend the training. And then experts, probably expert advisors in information security, we can also be able to attend. Similarly, this one is certified. You'll be able to sit for an exam. It's a 4 days training. The 5th day, you can sit for the exam that particular 5th day or another day that you choose. But there is a timeline you will not be able to exceed after the training. And then it's also the value that you're investing there is 1,500 USD. So guys, that's it for the training. We also request so that you can be able to learn more about these trainings. You can visit the link on the website that has been provided, and there is more information for that. Now, before I go on, there is someone for any other question that we might not have answered, we'll be able to look into it, tackle it, and just allow me to read the 2, and then we can close it at that before we go on. So someone is asking, for the surveillance audits, will an organization be assessed as per the current certification version or as per ISO 27002 for the surveillance audits? Mueni, kindly note that with the lead implementer training, is there a limitation with the years of experience in IT field? Mueni, Musa, kindly note on that. And then is there training for lead implementer 2022 version? So Musa, also kindly answer that. Then we will now move from there. Mueni, you can start with you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I think let me take the training questions, and then for certification for the surveillance audit, it's only right that let Mike take it as a person representing certification bodies. So for the lead implementer, is there limitation to the years of experience in the IT field? Okay, depending with the body that you choose for the certification, there's some that determine that for you to become a lead implementer, for example, you need maybe 5 years of experience. For you to become a senior, you need to show that you have maybe 7 years of experience. To become a master, like Musa is, you need 10 years of experience, and so on and so forth. So really, there's none. Rather, not there's none, but depending on the body that you select for, certification, then you would actually have those limitations there. In terms of what level what level your certificate says you are, depending on the years of experience. Maybe Mike, we can touch on that as well, since CertiTrust not only does certification for organizations, but also does certifications for persons, yeah? And then the other question with regards to, is this training for lead implementer version 2022? So yes, we're going to craft trainings for both the implementer and auditor to cover and address version 2022 of ISO 27001. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Probably Mike, almost Mike, yes. Mike, you can answer that one.
Thank you. In regards to the question on surveillance audit, so the surveillance audit will be based on the current contractual obligation you have with your certification body. So if you are certified on the 2013 version, the surveillance audit will be based on that, unless you precisely request that your certification, your surveillance audit be done on the 2022. So they are, for you, for 2022, surveillance audit to be done, you must make a request to your certification body. Thank you.
Maybe Ian, just to add on to something.
Yeah.
I think it is this is just to answer the question that was asked earlier about whether this webinar can actually give you a certificate. I don't think we have a problem with that. For you to be able to present, especially when you're looking for CPD hours and CPE hours, we can issue you with evidence that you attended the webinar. I think that can be sent to, I think for those people who have registered, who we have their email addresses, if you don't have your email address, please help us with your email address. We can be able to do that for you.
Thank you, Musa. I told you guys we are lucky we have these guys with us today. So you see, it's possible. You guys will get certificates for the webinar. So kindly, for those of us who probably don't have your email and your details, kindly just send your name. We need your name. Then we need the organization name you're in. And then we need your email address. So your name, the organization name, you can also tell us the position you're in your organization. And then you give us your email address. That you can do directly to our email, or you can do right on chat. And then we'll get you certificates, and we will send you the certificates as we are sending you the rest of the information. Okay. So now, guys, thank you so much for being here. We are so grateful that you guys have stayed with us this far. And, I hope and I'm believing that you guys have learned as much as I have also. So now, before we finish, allow us to probably get a little bit of feedback from you, because it's important for us to get feedback from you. It's important for us to know what probably we could improve on, how you felt, how the webinar was to you. And then so that next time you tell us, what do you want us to tackle? What is that topic we really want to tackle? Because Sentinel Africa, we are positioned, our vision is to become your advisor of choice. And for us to achieve that vision is to continually give you knowledge on different topics that might be of interest to you. So I will ask our technical genius, UV, to share with us now. Go to chat, open your chat. Just open your chat with me. Then UV, kindly share the link. Yeah, so just click on that link. Click on the link. Yeah, you can share your screen also. You can share your screen also. So just click on the link. Good. Click on the link, then answer the questions. You can probably share your screen. If also you're using your phone, you can scan QR code for you to be able to answer the questions. Good. Over to the questions. The first question. Good. Okay, what would you like to hear about in our next webinar? Like, which topic would you like us to cover? Just mention any topic, anything, or any word you would want us probably to cover in our next webinar. Give us some details. So kindly answer that. Good. Answer that. CSIM, incident management. Thank you. There is PIMS, there's cloud security. Yeah, there's risk assessment. Good, thank you. There's data privacy. Someone would want to hear about incident management. Someone also would want to hear about risk monitoring tools. Thank you, guys. Someone else is in cyber security controls. We have ethical hacking. Someone would want to hear about ethical hacking. Thank you. More on risk management, definitely, because that's what Sentinel is all about. We are a risk management consultants looking into monitoring, identification, and even mitigation and control of that risk. There is the risk register. Do you do partnership with governments? Yes, we can handle that too. Good. I think we're good. Just one more minute for someone who probably have not typed. I see we are almost 60. We can have more. So more on risk management, ethical hacking comes up more. Thank you. Control objectives. That's good. Yeah. At least give a discount. Okay. We always give discounts depending on our clients. So thank you for that. We can go to the other. Yeah.
I think it's important to mention, because from the word cloud, what has been said by most of the participants is business impact analysis, risk management. So we'll definitely look into that and ensure that maybe those are the topics, some of the topics that we prioritize in our next webinar. Yeah, next webinar. Yeah.
Thank you.
For the feedback. Yeah.
All right. Good. So can we go to the next question? Thank you guys for the answers. Thank you for the feedback. This feedback is really important for us. So go to the next question. How can we improve our next webinar? Anything you think we could improve on? We really appreciate this feedback because it's going to ensure we are better. So anything you think we can improve on our next webinar, type in guys. Just type in. Okay. Are you having responses? Guys, I'm not seeing your responses. How can we improve our next webinar? Good. Goodies. Okay. Time. Thank you so much for that. More interaction. We are noting that. Make the webinar 1 hour. Thank you for someone is saying it's good. After training. Is there mentorship? That's great. Good. I think we're good at that. It's good. More time. Someone needs more time. Okay. More interaction. We'll definitely improve on that. More interaction. We are grateful for all this feedback because it's important to us to continue being better to you guys. Good. So now, UV, can we give it 30 seconds that we end it at that? Good. Thank you. Thank you guys for that. So UV, can allow me to share back my screen. Okay guys, so now